Have this dangerous feeling, don't know what to believe in. Cause every time you touch me, I can't control my body. Oh, baby, you are on my mind, all I think about, and I don't wanna stop.
From dating to relationships, from sex to love, from Christianity to politics, from darkness to light, you have now entered into the real zone. Welcome to Conversations with Trent, where no topic of conversation is safe from discussion. Now, here he is, Mr. Epic himself, Trent Williams.
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, beautiful people? Welcome to another conversation with Trent and friends, featuring the lovely Coach D. Good stuff. We got a good one on this Messy Sunday, that, as we like to call it. Coach D and I like to call it Messy Sundays. Topic for tonight: are you the reason you're still single? Are you the reason you're still single? Hey, listen, I know I'm the reason that I'm still single, so let me get that out of the way real quick. But being single is not a death certificate. So y'all hold up on the obituary. Let's bring Coach D in here and let's talk about it. Hey. What's going on?
Hey there, how are you?
Good, I'm good. How's it going up there in the DMV? What's going on over there?
Maryland's hot as Hades. I'm a northern girl. I can't handle these triple-digit temperatures.
Absolutely.
It's 93 degrees at 10 o'clock at night. This is ridiculous.
Gotcha. Yeah, it is pretty hot over here, so good stuff. But we're gonna weather through it. So this topic, man, came about. You know, we're in this group text with the viewers, and Martine and Shannon was checking. I guess they were sending some type of video. I didn't be honest with you. I didn't even look at the video. I had no interest in it, and I clicked on it a bit. And did you see the gift that I sent in there? I just waved and kept on going.
Yeah.
I was like, Coach D's gonna handle it. I really don't want to talk about it, but it was interesting, real interesting. So, what was the video about?
It was a guy saying that women have too high a standard. They need to lower their standards. He was just all full of talk, full of nonsense.
And that's exactly why I strolled by. I opened it up. I was like, let me let Coach D deal with that. I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good, because Martine's always she's giving great. She's always feeding us videos and all this stuff. She keeps us current. So my favorite Detroit, I really appreciate that. She keeps us current. So good stuff. Let's say hi to the folks before we get started.
Hey, well, speak of the devil, there is Miss Martine. Hey, y'all.
My favorite Detroit. What's going on?
Good evening, Alvin.
What up, Al? I see you.
Martine says, I'm the reason I'm still single. I'm mostly fine with it.
Absolutely.
Slash says, the Grand Rising Melanated people, greeting Princess Coach D and Mr. Epic.
What up, Slash?
And Martine says, it's in the 90s in Georgia.
Good stuff. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
All down in Georgia got no peaches left, and I can't make any jam.
Who's Georgia girl? Is Georgia girl here?
Yeah, she's here.
Hey, that's Kay. What's going on with you?
Martine.
Oh, got you. Yeah. Well, she is a peach girl now.
Yeah, she's from Detroit.
I know her from Detroit, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, she is Georgia. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. So go ahead, continue.
So anyway, this gentleman, within 15 seconds, I was like, oh man, and he's a Kevin Samuels, Derek Jackson guru guy, and I'm like, you can be single, but if the common denominator is always you.
Exactly. That's the most important thing in today's climate. Let's be fair and honest, man. Some people, male and female, think that single is a death sentence. It's not. It's really not.
Yeah.
It's really not. And honestly, in my opinion, And researchers have shown where that being single get a little more healthy.
Single women.
I don't want to hear these. Stop it. I don't
Single,
want to stop. Stop.
you brought it
Stop.
up. Single women live longer than married women, and married men live longer
Hey,
than single.
listen. I'm single and actually my health is pretty good right now. Knock it off.
Yeah. So anyway, Martine says I see those
Good.
videos and just shake my head, getting exhausting for dudes talking that same crap. So I went on a date yesterday.
Do
Lordy,
tell. Do tell. Do tell.
I swear dating now is solely for content because it is absolutely ridiculous. So this gentleman, I'm not going to mention any names. We'll call him John Doe. So he's 55,
Right.
and he was telling me about his list of standards. I'm like, great, everybody should have standards. Sir had a ridiculous list of standards because it was from the 1950s, and he was talking
Right.
about he needs a woman who's going to build him up. I'm like, at 55, if you are not built up,
Nah.
you might as well just
Yeah.
turn yourself in because that's just
So check it out. Check it out. So when you called me last night,
Mhm.
normally when we talk, you're at the house. So I'm
Yeah.
here in the background, you're in your car, you know. So I was like, so what's going on with you? You was like, I went on a date.
Listen, I went on a dinner date and it was so bad. It was over by 8:43. I think it was. It started at like 7, and that's including driving time to DC. So
Wow.
yeah, it was. Oh lordy. So he quoted Kevin Samuels,
Right.
right? So then I asked him, well, because now I'm like completely not interested because there's too many red flags. I need to dig deeper because that's what I do. Because
Right.
now I'm just looking for content. so I asked him, I said, so what is the longest relationship you've had? So he's 55, never been married, no kids. The longest relationship this 55-year-old had is 6 months.
Right.
At 55.
Wow.
I'm like, middle schoolers have longer relationships than that. Right? So
At some point, man, at some point, we have to turn that mirror inward and start actually taking inventory of self,
yeah,
moving forward, and wondering why we're still single. Like for me, I have no problem saying that I know the reason. I am the reason I'm
yeah.
still single because I refuse to not go into a situation. I don't want to go into a situation unless the person's reciprocating. If she's reciprocating what I'm giving out, and I'm not talking about monetary stuff. I'm talking about emotional intelligence. I'm talking about a ton of stuff. You know, mentally strong, mentally stable. If you can't reciprocate what I'm giving, I'll pass.
Yeah. Well,
That's
this
just where I'm at
guy,
in my life right now.
yeah, this guy just wasn't likable, and he blamed women
Exactly.
for his problems.
The stuff that you were telling me, I was like, damn, you should have got up on the table. But
I
tell them
paid
how
for
you
my
paid.
own dinner.
Tell them how you paid the bill.
Yeah, I should have paid his bill too, because so I work for a credit card company.
Right.
So we had a secured credit card because it was one of our cards, and our cards have a very specific color for the secured card. It's the only color that card comes in. So I was like, man, this guy don't even have good credit.
That's funny.
Build him up at 55, lordy. So yeah, he was talking about how modern women need to be more submissive, how they need to allow their men to lead and be in the forefront. I'm like, if somebody needs you to dim your shine, then you need to walk away because that's
Get rid of
that's
them.
a huge red flag,
Quick.
right?
Yeah.
So there's nothing wrong with being absolutely single by choice. Go for it. Don't want to be in a
Here's the
relationship?
thing, though.
Don't
You
worry
know,
about it.
as far as being single, in most cases, people are single by choice, and then others, the circumstances and whatnot, or what have you. But ultimately, again, and I'll say this throughout the night,
Yeah.
single is not a death sentence.
No, not at all. It's perfectly
Hold
fine.
on to the obituary, man. The obituary, leave it alone. Don't even think about writing it out. You're not dead. You're not dead. Actually, you're alive.
Well, here's the
The
problem.
moment you start going inward and doing self-discovery on yourself and doing the work on yourself with your personal chisel, you're good.
Yeah.
You know, don't focus on someone else. Focus on yourself. Then the right person will come along, but focus on yourself first.
Yeah. Well, remember, was it a couple weeks back? I said some men think their princesses are on the pedestals and
Yeah.
think they're the prize. He was
Yeah.
one of those, right? And I'm like, can you
Let's
text
see.
me?
Martine's saying a couple of things here.
Martine, I'm on my laptop, so I don't need to highlight.
I got you. Oh, you
Martine
don't. Oh,
says,
I
I'm
got you.
single because it's my choice. I'll be patient and keep waiting. Woo-wee, I can't sit through terrible dates. Normally, I wouldn't, but
We
I
had
was
to
like,
get content. We had
this
to
is
get
good
content. She
content. Yeah.
called me as soon as she left the restaurant. I needed to get the tea. I need to get the tea.
This is just saving me research now, going into relationship groups. I'm like, man. So he was not a likable person. You know?
Right.
Even the most patient, kindest person, I was just like I will give you so much rope, but like he was lassoing trees and pulling them down. I'm like, sir, like it's just one bad comment after the other.
Right.
Like, yeah, no.
So let's
So
talk about how health, that's a real good thing as far as being single. Your health kind of improves
mhm.
in some cases. Let's talk about that. I'm sure you got numbers, and I knew you were going to be coming with, your research. So
Yeah.
I did a little dabbling myself, but go ahead.
Well, single women live longer because they're not caretakers.
Go ahead.
That's it. Single women live longer because they're not taking care of a spouse
I got you.
because it's
I got you.
exhausting, it's tiring, and what happens is they don't. Married women end up taking care of this older husband, and they don't take care of themselves, and they end up dying sooner.
Well, here's a news flash for you, folks. Here's a news flash for you. Being single helps your mentality, your mental, your overall health, physical benefits, and everything.
Yeah.
Being single. I've actually walked through this recovery single.
Mm-hmm.
I've actually gotten healthier in this condition, single,
Yeah.
mentally and physically, stronger, single. So there's benefits to being single.
Yeah. And I have no problem being a crazy cat lady. I'll get a couple of gorgeous Maine Coons, get Xavier a dog, and I'm good. Travel the world. Heck, Xavier's got 9 years. He's off to college.
For people don't know you, I know you, so I know you mean that from the bottom of your soul.
Oh yeah, no problem whatsoever.
Exactly, no problem
Mar-
at all, man. No
Martine said
problem. Martine says, hold
I
on a
went and
second.
sat at a cool restaurant solo the other day. I was chilling. I had a good time, plus good food. Yeah. Here's the thing: if there's absolutely nothing wrong with going to a restaurant and sitting and eat by yourself. I recommend
At
it
all.
because if you're not comfortable being by yourself, you can't be in a relationship.
Absolutely. Some of the best company is
Mm-hmm.
your own
Yeah.
company. Enjoy yourself before you even think about enjoying others.
Yeah, you have to be comfortable with who you are before you can
Absolutely.
and love who you are before you can really truly love somebody else. Because
I just
if you
told a
love yourself,
friend,
you'll be
I
aware,
just told a friend the
self-aware.
other day, right?
Hmm?
She's going through these tumultuous situations. I was like, man, listen, when are you going to take a break? When are you going to take a break? Focus on yourself. She's a
Right.
wonderful person, a great person. But when are you going to take a break to focus on yourself? Because, a man is going to treat you exactly how you feel about yourself. If you feel bad about yourself, he's going to treat you bad. Let's be
No, a
clear.
man will treat you how you allow him to.
Boom. One more time for the people in the back who didn't hear you.
A man or woman will treat you the way you allow them to.
There we go. There we
Okay?
go. But there's nothing wrong with staying single and until you actually do the work on yourself, the proper work on yourself. It's okay to do the proper work on yourself. Don't just look in the mirror and say, this is me time. No, do you really mean that? Do you really mean that when you're saying, oh, me time, it's about me? Do you really mean that?
Hmm.
You have to mean it and do the work.
Yeah.
You can't just say it and what it sounds like. And if it sounds good on social media, oh, it's all about me. Is it really all about you? Come
And
on, man.
there's
Go
lots of
ahead.
groups that you can go. Like if you want to travel alone, there's um, Jelani. I think it's Jelani, Jelani. Women travel
Right.
and they go on amazing trips, and it's just
Exactly.
sisters going. And it's empowering because you're going out. You have a group with you, so you're not solo traveling, so you feel safer. But you're bonding and talking to amazing people that you might not meet because they're maybe across the country or something.
Exactly. There's more to life than just being in a relationship. Let's be
Mhm.
clear.
Yeah.
There's more to life than just being in a relationship.
Yeah,
Just to say you have somebody. Come on, man.
listen, and
Come on.
I think too many people settle just to say that they have someone because
We got a viewer. We got a quiet viewer, but she's always viewing. Demetria, appreciate you tuning in, Demetria.
she said you're definitely right about that.
Good
And
stuff.
then
Good
Martine
stuff.
says, right, I might get a cat, shop for shoes, dresses, and pocketbooks, and have fun with my folks. Single is way safe for me, working up things and ain't having goofy conversations. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the only way that you like to discover yourself is just take a break, man. Take a break from it. Take a break from relation, and it's okay. Coach D, wouldn't you recommend taking a break if?
Oh yeah, I wholeheartedly recommend everybody heal from the previous relationship before getting into a new one.
There we go.
Right? Date yourself for a while.
Exactly.
And if somebody tells you that you're going to be a crazy cat lady, tell them don't threaten me with a good time.
Exactly.
Please.
But but here's the downside to continuously dating and being a habitual dater. You're going to inadvertently start bleeding on other people. Even though you're a wonderful person, a great person, you're going to bleed on somebody because your wounds are still open from the previous relationship. You're going to inadvertently bleed on someone. And it's got to be exhausting to constantly continue to pick up bandage and put the bandage on top of the old bandage, and you're still bleeding from previous relationships.
Yeah. And
It's okay to sit in your stuff, man. It's okay.
when you do the work, you're a lot quicker to pick up on the red flags.
Absolutely. Say it one more time for the people in the back who didn't hear you.
When you do the work, it's a lot quicker picking up on the red flags.
Boom.
And if you're one of those people who turn red flags into green flags and go full forward, you won't if you do the work.
Now I know what you mean by turning the red flag to a green flag. Explain to the viewers what you mean when you say turning the red flag into a green flag.
So say here's a good red flag. Somebody who's very controlling. They want to know where you're going, where all the time. You need to check in 24/7. That is a red flag if somebody's that controlling. Some people will say, "Oh, they're just concerned for me. They just want to make sure I'm okay." I'm like, "No, sis, that's not a green flag. Stop turning red flags into green flags because that red flag at the beginning is a red flag at the end."
Exactly. I call that negotiating with yourself when you have the rose-colored glasses on. You know it's wrong, but you're negotiating with yourself.
Oh yeah.
You know it's wrong, but you're having a good time with that person. But you're going to continue to negotiate with yourself. The toxic traits and the toxic manner, you're going to actually look past it and negotiate with yourself. But just like Coach D said, that red flag's turned to a green flag by you, not him, by you.
Look at has everybody saw the whole nonsense with Kiki and Usher singing her a song?
Yeah, I saw that
Lost his
foolishness.
bloody mind.
Yeah.
Well, now Haley Bailey, that absolutely gorgeous, stunning young lady who's doing Ariel, the live action mermaid, her fool of a boyfriend wrote a song which is just nothing but red flags.
Yeah, they're really kids,
He
man.
says, "I'm insecure. You're kissing people for promos and doing this." I'm like, I've never wanted to write somebody a letter before and say, "Listen, sis, you need to dump him. You need to dump him because he wrote it all out. Every single red flag he wrote out in a song."
Wow. Martine says,
right on target on the red flag comment, turning them into something fake positive, making excuses for that person. Yeah. I see it all the time.
Here's a big one here.
Yeah. You need to have your list of non-negotiables. Yeah, a lot of people are embarrassed by being single. Heck, it's more embarrassing to be in an obvious black union.
Boom.
Here's the thing. The society culturally has this full image of what we're supposed to look like. And that we're supposed to be hooked up and that a woman is supposed to have her MRS and all this stuff. But that's not the way society has always been. That's the way society has been since colonialization. Right? People forget where we came from in our history prior to white folks dragging us onto ships. Right? They just this week, scientists have admitted that prehistoric women were hunters because of fragile male archaeologist egos. Right? Stories have been so misconstrued. Like people cannot admit that people in Egypt built pyramids. They have this
Right.
whole story about aliens came down to build them because Egyptians, as light as they like to pretend they are right now, were not
Yeah, I
always
mean,
as light
we
as they
know
are.
the truth though. I mean, they try to water the truth down, but we know exactly what the truth is. And
Oh yeah, like look at the
European will
Mayan
always do that.
architecture and everything like that. With it's
We got a
ridiculous.
comment from the wonderful Demetria.
She says running back to the same problems is definitely a red flag, especially when you're being mentally abused. So yeah,
Mm.
but if you're in a traumatic relationship and you're trauma bonded, breaking that bond is not as easy as people think it is, right? Because it's a cycle, and you have to.
Explain.
So trauma bonds are cycles. You have the abuse, the reconciliation, abuse, reconciliation. You have to be able to break that, move away from it, and go completely no contact in order to fully break it. Even
One
then,
more
you have to
time.
heal
I
from
want you to say that part slow.
it.
No contact.
Yeah, zero contact.
And
Because
why? And explain why.
because abusers pick their victims, right? It's not the other way around. It's not the victim picking bad. The abusers specifically pick out their victims. So, in order to break away from them, most of the time, that person who is in that trauma bond had that same type of relationship as a child, right? So, remember, our relationships
Exactly.
as children move forward into what we have as adults. So, in order to get away, you thoroughly have to leave and have zero contact because they will pull you
Let's
back
hover
in.
around trauma bond for a minute. Let's
Mhm.
hover around it for a minute. Trauma bond is
It's a cycle, right?
a
So
repetitive cycle. Yep.
it is a repetitive cycle, and it's um, that's why domestic violence victims has so much trouble leaving because it's a vicious cycle that is hard to get out of.
Exactly.
You need professional help to be able to break that cycle, right? That's why you never
Exactly.
know. One of the reasons that you you're told to what's called gray rock.
Exactly.
You go no contact, and if you have to have contact because there are children involved, you have to give as little emotion to a response as possible.
That means no contact means delete number, delete information, all texts, all past texts, disconnect completely. This is the only way you'll be able to get away from that trauma bond. Just disconnect. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be extremely hard.
Hmm.
But if you love you, you're gonna have to disconnect.
Yeah.
Delete everything. Would you agree? Pass email, everything.
Oh yeah.
Anything that's connected to that toxic person, you have to remove yourself from it.
And I tell people if you have like an iPad or an iPhone, you have to actually get a different phone and change everything on a new phone because those abusive people will track everything. People are
Exactly.
putting air um, trackers in cars.
That's right. That's
It's,
right. Demetria said something else. We're gonna
um,
hover around Demetria for a second here because I want to get some of that stuff, that good
oh, I already
coaching.
read that one, sir. You're behind us.
You did?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay,
Slash says,
gotcha.
why many are single? They're simply not interested in being in a serious relationship at this time in their life, correct? And others are single due to the circumstances of their lives.
Yep.
Yep.
Absolutely. Totally agree.
Yeah, you're
Totally
right.
agree.
It is. And here's the thing being single by choice is a wonderful choice. Being in a relationship because you can't handle being single is not a good choice.
One more time.
Being in
The
a
the last
relationship
the latter part of that.
being in a relationship because you can't handle being single is not a good choice.
Boom.
Right?
And tell the folks why it's not a good choice.
One, it's if you're with somebody only because you don't want to be single, that's like I can't tell you how many red flags are on that play. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
So, and then if you have this person that you really don't want to be around, how healthy can that relationship be?
Exactly.
Right? So it's life is tough. I am well aware of the economic situation in the world. I know
Right.
how tight money is, but you have to take care of yourself. You can't put yourself into situations that are not healthy for you
Exactly.
because
Let
in
me
the
tell you
long
something,
run,
man.
it
And
causes stress.
this is completely for the single women who focus on the monetary things. If that toxic guy can take care of all those monetary things, maybe you need to do something a little different. Maybe you need to choose something a little different, which is choose yourself. Sometimes you have to wing it by yourself for a moment. if you continuously and repetitively dealing with toxic individuals who's actually raising that monetary bag, that's not always a good thing, man. That's not always a good thing. Sometimes the struggle is where the blessing is. I'll say it again. Sometimes the struggle is where the blessing is.
Yeah. Or take advantage if you're in a situation where somebody else is paying the bills but you're not happy. Take that time to educate yourself. Take a course,
Exactly.
take a certification or something that allow you to increase your marketability to get a job.
Exactly.
Right?
Martine's back with comment here. 1 sec. She's in
My
caps.
team's I'm single by choice again. I'm fine with it. Yep. There's nothing wrong with
That's
being
right.
single by choice. You know,
That's right.
it's life is good. Box wine and
Exactly.
cactus.
There's nothing better. There's nothing better than owning your own happiness. When you own it and when you harness it, it's a different type of harness.
Yeah.
When you harness happiness from within, you're on your way.
And you attract
But
a different energy to you as well.
exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
So unfortunately, you'll still attract some frogs, not all princes, because some frogs are good at
You will. I mean, there'll be some
imitation.
frogs, some dead frogs, but your awareness heightens when you actually reflect and do self-reflection on yourself. When you've done the work, you're gonna see it a mile away.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. Martine said she's clapping my hands, agreeing to everything y'all are saying. Yeah, because we're right, man.
Good stuff, man. Good
You
stuff.
know,
Good stuff. Well, Martine, it's because of you throwing these videos in here, strike these messy Sundays. So it's good stuff, man. Real good stuff. Kudos
I,
to you.
I tell you, before I look at it, I roll my eyes before I look at it because I know Martine's sending me some mess.
You already know.
I already know. But you know what? Here's the thing. Social media is so full of options.
Right.
So I worked 5 a.m. this morning, so I was tired. I was just like mindlessly scrolling through TikTok and looking at what people are watching. There was
Right.
19,000 people watching a woman color.
Mm.
And I was like, and then I'm like, Dee, you're watching her color too. I'm like, and I'm trying to figure out why they're watching her color. So I'm like looking through different lives to see all the stuff that's going on, and people are just looking for an outlet to not have to think about their lives for a little bit
Exactly.
because there's
Fly's
so
coming in with that work. He coming in hot. He coming in with that work.
76 reasons people remain single, grouped into 3 main categories: 1, freedom of choice; 2, constraints; and 3, difficulties with relationships. Yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
I don't know.
Dropping them jewels.
I'm gonna have to buy a lottery ticket. Me and Slash are agreeing. Don't mess
Dropping
it
them
up, sir.
jewels tonight.
Do
My
not
favorite
mess it up.
Detroiter one more time.
I said, dope souls are going to keep attracting the bottom of the barrel. We just have to be careful. There's actually a lot of truth to that
That's it.
because you have what that other person's missing.
One more time. I know exactly where you're going with that.
Yeah.
Say it a little slow for the people in the back who didn't hear you.
So you have what that other person is missing. So that's where you'll see a lot of insecure people will hook up with overly confident people. But what happens is because they are insecure, they'll try to beat that confident person down.
Exactly.
It's like it's a double-edged sword. So if you're very
Exactly.
kind and empath, like this, people like to say opposites attract. Opposites don't really attract. They never
Now,
have.
folks, you
No
heard
one
this, right?
would.
You heard what she said. You heard what she said, right? The person who's actually having the issue is really going to try to tear the confident person down.
Yeah.
You know what that looks like? That looks like you're not secure within yourself, and you're going to be attracted to that confident person, wishing that you were that person.
Yeah.
That's called doing the work on yourself first.
Mhm.
Then you go get that confident person, that man or woman.
Yeah. It is. And then Martine says, trashy people will keep coming to you as long as you're silly enough to be a people pleaser. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
And that's people pleasers. Those are people who have insecure attachments. So they'll do what they need to do in order to keep that person.
Exactly.
Right? I am not an
Exactly.
insecure attachment. I will drop you like a rock before your eyes will blink. Because
But you have to, man. You have to.
I was a people pleaser.
Exactly. You have to gain that third eye, man, before you get out here in these streets, because it's vicious out there, man. So you have to gain that third eye, man. The only way you gain that third eye is through self reflection, inward mirrors, and personal chisels.
Mm-hmm.
That's the
Listen,
only way you're gonna get it.
I look at Xavier's generation, and I'm amazed by their emotional intelligence.
Right.
They also scare the living daylights out of me because Xavier's in a game called Roblox. They have named their attacks after Egyptian gods, people.
Right.
Like,
Right. Right.
these kids are not playing around with nobody, but they're empathetic as heck.
Let's veer off of that real quick. Tell them when Xavier and the rest of his friends kicked the guy out off the thing, and the mother came
Oh,
on and was saying, "Well, why did y'all do this?" And give Xavier's answer, the reply to the mom questioning why they kicked him off.
yeah. So Xavier and his crew play Minecraft. They built a village. They had an election to who was going to be the mayor of the village, right?
This shit is
One kid,
hilarious. Go
one
ahead.
kid didn't like the election, didn't like the results. He started cheating. They kicked him out. The kid's mom came on and asked, and Xavier was the spokesperson, and he said he was cheating, so we kicked him out. He broke the rules, and she's like, "Okay, because there's nothing else you can say." I'm like, "These kids are playing. You break the rules, you're gone." Like,
That's it.
they will burn
That's
it
it. That's a
down,
wrap.
man.
Can you imagine as adults if we actually lived our lives like these young kids these days? If a person actually offends you or whatever, or bring that toxic behavior around you, cut them off. All contact. Can you imagine being that way as an adult, in adult situation? Just cut it off.
Yeah,
They don't mean you well. Just cut them off.
yeah. And these kids, Generation Alpha will tell you why you are being cut off,
Boom.
and that is it. They will,
Boom.
yeah. So they know that they need to fill their cups before they can fill anybody else's cup.
And honestly, when you think about it, that's healthy. That's really healthy because I'm explaining to you, D, this is why I can no longer be in contact with you. This is really healthy. That's healthy. There's
It is
nothing wrong with being straightforward.
Yeah, it's extremely healthy, and it scares the living daylights out of Gen X and Boomers because they were never allowed to speak about their feelings.
Boom.
That's why you hear so
Things
much now
echo,
about kids
yeah.
are entitled and they don't want to do stuff. I'm like, no, these kids know their worth, and they're not going to do anything that is beneath their worth that they feel. And
Exactly.
I am all for it. Go for it, man.
Martin got multiple comments here. One second. Let's get to them real quick.
Martine says, and no opposites don't always attract, and no, you don't always attract what's inside of you. And just because a guy seems to be so loving to his mom, it's actually usually an illusion. So here's the thing: the whole watch how a man treats his mother, and that's how he'll treat you. That doesn't really work in real life.
Right.
In the movies, sure. In real life, it doesn't because
Right.
it's not about how he treats her; it's about how she reciprocates that relationship.
Exactly. I have a transparent moment here, and you know how I am about my mother.
Oh, I know.
I still speak when I speak to D. I still talk about my mother in the present. That's how much I love her. But
She loves me.
exactly, I treated my mother immaculate, man. I love my mother still to this day, and she's not even here anymore. But I was a horrible boyfriend and a horrible husband in my first marriage. I was very horrible, but I treated my mother like royalty.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not a good example of if he'll treat his mother well, he'll treat you well. That's not the case.
No,
Not in my case. That's not the case at all.
it is not the case. But remember that his mother will teach him how women will expect to be treated.
That's true. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely
So
right.
that's why you have to be very careful when, like Xavier and I are close, but he's not a mama's boy.
Right.
Because I allow him to be very independent. I expect him to be very independent because
Right.
that's both our personalities. We're both type A. But at the same time, I know that anybody who looks at our relationship later on will have concerns because we are so close.
Right.
Because not everybody understands that you can be close and be independent at the same time.
You really can, man. You really can. And the relationship my mother and I had, she always told, and you know that, she always told me about myself. And if I was wrong, she's not gonna go along with that.
No.
Like, nah, you can't do that. That's not the proper way to do that.
Yeah. I've had
So
people
no, I get it.
I've had people ask me, you go, if Xavier did something wrong, would you cover up for him? I'm like, no.
Exactly.
I'm like, no, you don't do that. I'm like, I
At
won't
all.
let him win at Monopoly either. So, it's it's
Oh,
you teach them about
Martina has a good one
control
here. She
young.
has a good one here.
Because some moms are master manipulators. Oh yeah. Listen, we need to have a show about the mother wound,
Ooh.
about the
Well,
damage
she had a couple of good ones there. I missed those. Let's see.
of the mother and father wound, and the damage that parents can do to their kids. And just because the guy seems to be so loving his mom, yeah, it's usually illusion. Yep. Because here's the thing: you can have, I know you see it a lot. It's
Right.
called emotional incest, where the mother and son are too close, where the mother has treated the son as a partner instead of a son.
Yeah, we talked about that. Remember we did a show about that. We did a show
Yep.
about that about a viewer over in Miami, one of our closest friends.
Yeah.
Is in relation with his mother and whatnot. Yeah, we did one on that.
Yeah.
You
Because
guys can check that over at the B2G Unity TV network.
oh yeah,
It's there. Yeah.
and everybody and their dog has heard about a toxic mother-in-law who gets too involved with the relationship and is mean to the daughter-in-law just because she's with her son.
Right.
There's a whole mess out there. So
Exactly. Exactly.
I think that there's a lot more toxic relationships that exist in families that most people are willing to admit to,
Right.
because people aren't willing to have the heavy conversations.
So again, let's talk about the positive side to being single. What are the good attributes to being single? What are the best things to being single?
You can do what you want, when you want, where you want, how you want. You don't answer to nobody. You don't got to worry about nobody.
Exactly.
Have at her. Have fun. Enjoy your life. Do you.
Exactly.
Travel. Get a pet. Get a dog. Do a sport. You know,
Exactly.
it's
So
the
again,
time.
you don't need a companion to complete you. You should be complete already.
No,
You don't
exactly.
need a companion to complete you.
I tell people who are in coming out of long term relationships that new singleton is the journey to finding you again.
That's right.
Because so often, so many people lose their identity in a long term relationship that they have to take time to refine themselves and
Exactly.
figure out. You've been cooking meals because women will center meals around what the husband likes. I'm like,
Exactly.
you're cooking for yourself. Go out to the store and buy what you want to buy. You know?
Man, self-discovery is a very beautiful thing, man.
Mhm.
It really is. Self-discovery is a very beautiful thing. But in order for you to actually acquire self-discovery, in your tool belt, you're gonna have to have that personal chisel,
Mhm.
that inward mirror, very important. The two most important items in your tool belt to discovering self-discovery, it's gonna be the personal chisel and that inward mirror.
Yeah. Have
Good
that.
stuff. Go ahead.
And listen, that mirror looking back at you is one of the hardest things that you'll look at,
That's right.
because it's hard to admit that we may be at fault sometimes.
That's right.
Right? If
That's
we,
right.
but I tell you, being self-aware of what your toxic personality traits are
That's right.
is life-giving versus
And for
life-taking.
me, right, my journey has been a seriously bumpy one in a thorn-filled path.
Mhm.
And I had to actually take that inward mirror. And I say it all the time. I couldn't use the hand mirror. I needed the stand-up mirror because I was a complete mess.
Yeah,
But I had to take personal responsibility for everything I've done myself and everything I've done others. I
yeah,
had to take personal responsibility for that. I had to.
yeah.
That was the only way I was going to get to the other side of the path.
We have to be responsible and take accountability for what we have or may not have done or have
That's
said
right.
or make or should have said. You know,
That's right. That's right.
Martine says, oh, I feel fine when meeting a group of guys, and just chatting with them and going home without having taken number. Yeah,
That's right.
it's it's
You could have the healthy conversation with the opposite sex, and that's what it just be a healthy conversation. That's it.
yeah. So
There's nothing wrong with that.
just be careful, ladies, because we all know that some men cannot take no and will get violent. So watch yourself. Be careful with that. And we'll have a talk on Wednesday, and I'll bring some of that up then.
Yeah. We're
Yeah.
definitely
So
gonna be tackling that very tough conversation that really no one wants to have, but we have to have it.
yeah, but you know
Yeah,
what? Being whatever your relationship status, as long as you are in a healthy relationship, either with yourself, with somebody else, it needs to be healthy. There needs to be boundaries.
that's right.
You need to be able to freely be vulnerable in a safe environment.
That's right.
If
That's
you
right.
need emotional intimacy, if you don't have that, you need to look at that relationship deeply and see if it can be changed so that
Exactly.
you do have that.
Demetria says thanks. No
Hmm.
problem, Demetria. That's right.
Hey, that's what
Yeah.
we're here for. It's
And
I
Martine
call
says having a good time and keeping it moving.
Mhm,
That's key. That's right.
it is. You know what? It's There's so much going on in the world that there's no rush to do anything. Yes, life is short, but there's
Right.
no rush to jump into a relationship if you're not sure about it,
At all.
right?
At
Take
all.
your time. There's absolutely no need to be with somebody if you don't need to be with somebody. Right?
Exactly.
Don't do it because
Exactly.
society tells you to it.
Think about this, folks. When you actually focus on yourself and you actually tweak everything that needs to be tweaked with you, you're gonna be fine tuned. You're gonna be fine tuned. You're gonna have great discernment, everything about that. So if when the wrong person come in, you'll be able to see it. You'll be able to recognize that that person is not for you. Everyone is not your person,
Hmm.
and it's okay. It's totally okay. I know I'm not everybody's person,
Yeah,
and every person is not for me. That's it.
yeah.
It's
I'm the
okay,
same.
man. It's totally okay.
I'm the same way. Not I. I am somebody's person, but if I meet them, great. If I don't, great.
That's
I'm good.
good.
I'm good
That's
being
it.
my own person.
Exactly. And you should be fine with that. You should be
Hmm.
fine with that. Totally fine with if you never get your person. You should be totally fine with that because you've done the work on yourself. You constantly and repeatedly bring your personal chisel. So you should be totally fine with that.
Yeah.
I'm totally fine if I'll never get into another relationship. I am comfortable with that.
Hmm.
I am super comfortable with myself.
Yeah.
Super comfortable.
Martine says I recently had a guy get sideways with me because he tried to be slick with me. He was so upset. His homeboy was even surprised by his energy. Listen,
Wow.
I see it all the time, and I hear about it all the time. Be
Right.
safe because these some of these fools out here think that they are God's gift to the world.
Right. Right.
And because they are so insecure that if somebody says no to them, they immediately resort to aggression and violence.
And that's not good, man.
No, it is not. So,
It's
and
not good. It's
that's
not
why
healthy.
it's even more important because you can see those red flags,
That's right.
right? So if somebody's following you, go, can I get 2 minutes? Can I get 2 minutes? Can I get 2 minutes? And you keep saying no, you need to safely get away from them because that is a red flag. Do not give them any information,
Exactly. That's right.
right?
That's right.
But yeah, relationships sometimes are highly overrated if you're not ready for them.
Absolutely.
If you're not in a space where you need to be, then it could cause you more damage than it does harm, that does good.
That's right.
Because you'll put up with stuff that you wouldn't normally put up with if you've
You're
healed and done the
absolutely right.
work, right?
That's right. You're absolutely right, man.
What Martine says. Can you pull her comment up?
Yeah, one sec.
At the very bottom, I can't read it.
Okay, gotcha.
Is it okay to have a plumber on hand? A guy asked a few of us that the other day whether we had a plumber or not.
Wow.
So
Dig a little deeper
are we
into that
using
one.
slang plumber or are we saying like an actual plumber to fix
No, you're
things?
talking about a plumber, like
A,
some reserved
friend,
penis,
a friend with benefits?
pretty much.
Why wouldn't it be? So here's a double standard with men. Men only worry about body counts if they're not included in the body count.
Okay, so wait, wait. I wasn't expecting that. So, so wait. So you're actually advising, you're saying that it's okay to have a personal plumber? That's what you're saying?
Why not?
I'm not saying yeah or nay. I'm saying, are you advising these women it's okay to have a personal plum on the side and still date someone else?
We had this conversation. I already said that if
I'm
you
asking you a direct question,
yeah,
Ms. D.
if you
I'm
have not
asking.
agreed to be in a monogamous relationship with anybody, yes,
Okay,
right?
there you
Because
go, folks. You heard it first from another woman.
here's the
Go don't
thing:
get that
men
plum.
will date multiple women, but get upset if women are dating multiple men because it's ego.
So let's be clear. Let's be clear. So if you're not in a monogamous relationship, it's cool.
Yeah,
But if you're in a monogamous relationship,
but it's not cool if
you
you're
gotta leave the
cheating.
plumber at home, man.
Yeah, if you're in a monogamous relationship, then you're a cheat if you're going to see somebody on the side.
Boom, that part. That's what I was looking for. That's what I was
Yeah,
digging for.
sir, you do not have the dig. I do not condone
I
cheating
know
on
you don't.
any form.
I know
Yeah,
you don't.
but yeah,
Martina,
so
she also
eh,
says,
men like to have double standards. Yeah, Martine says we can. I won't even go to my car in the presence of an older, aggressively dude. We can date anyone we choose. On call
I
though.
agree with you. You could date, anyone you choose, but I mean, you have to be straightforward and upfront with, if you're dating, you're dating. Just say it. You know what I'm saying? If you're dating, all right, put me in rotation. Give me the option to say, all right, put me in rotation. If you're dating, cool. Give me the option to say, you know what, good. Have a good time.
If you're
You
grown,
know
you
what
should be able
I'm
to have
saying? I'm
grown
not saying anything
conversations.
that's wrong with it. I'm not saying at all. But if you're gonna be dating multiple guys, cool. Take me out of rotation. I have no
Well,
interest in that. That's just me.
well,
That's just me.
one date does not make a monogamous relationship because it takes 3 months to get
I
rid of their
get it, but here's
representative
the
as a
so
real
what you're
person.
saying, have a smorgasbord of guys and date them. That's what you're saying.
Why not? Men have been doing it
Again,
for generations.
if you ladies, if you're doing that, give the guy the right of way.
Just because they're dating somebody doesn't mean they're sleeping with everybody. That's the way men
Has that
think.
for
Men
me?
think
For
because
me,
you're
it has
dating
nothing
somebody, you're
to.
sleeping with them.
For me, it has nothing to do with sleeping with. I'm not
Listen,
gonna be going out on dates and you got multiple dates.
okay,
I'm nobody's second choice. Now we're not doing it like that. That's me personally. That's just me personally.
but if you're not in an exclusive relationship, you're no one's choice until you're in an exclusive relationship.
Ladies and gentlemen, Coach D and I, we're gonna respectfully disagree with one another. We're gonna agree to disagree one another on this one.
If you ain't been chosen, sir, multiple dates are fine. All right. Martine
My
says,
favorite
I'll be honest
Detroiter
with the man and tell
says,
them that we're not exclusive. Yeah. If you're grown, have grown folks conversations.
exactly. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's
There's a
all I'm
difference
saying.
between dating and being in a relationship. If you're
But
dating, you're not.
if you got a pool full of them and you're not saying anything, now we're not doing that. You know what I'm saying? No, we're
Yeah.
not doing that. But you can't be doing that, hiding your multiple dates and still expecting that, that $4 steak from me. It's not gonna work. It's not for me, it's not gonna work.
But
If you're doing grown woman stuff, say that you're doing grown woman stuff. Don't hide it. Don't put it in a closet.
we're not. We had. How many times have I said have open conversations?
You said a ton of time, but I'm just kind of reiterating that, just making sure.
Yeah. It sounds like
But
there's
don't be expecting
some
the
work you
$4
need to do
steak.
on the
You got
subject.
a pool full of feces of guys.
Mm.
Don't be expecting a porterhouse steak. Don't be expecting Ruth Chris or Morton Steakhouse. Don't expect it. Don't do that. That's not gonna
Someone,
work.
someone has some issues on this subject that they need to work through.
It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Go ahead.
You saw that. You see that, folks. You see how defensive somebody can get because hit dogs holler. We all know that. So moving
Knock it
on,
off.
you have to have
What?
phone conversations. If you're dating, then you have to talk to people.
That's what I'm saying. Just have the conversation. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Martine
Martina
says, why not
says,
sit and chat with a few different guys? That's how you see the difference in character traits. Listen, have conversations. Dating
have
doesn't mean you
conversation.
accept
You can't get pregnant from a conversation. I don't have no problem with that. But if you're actually doing that, and you got, say if I'm batter up, right? Let's say I'm batter up. We're going out first date or whatever, just hanging out. Those are the type of questions that I'm gonna ask.
something.
I'm gonna ask that. I'm gonna ask, so you dating anyone else? I'm gonna ask because I don't want to waste my
On the
time
first
here.
date, if somebody is not dating other
On the
people,
first date, I will ask, are you dating?
if somebody is on a first date with you and you're asking if they're on multiple dates,
I'm
Like, you
gonna
should,
ask, are you dating? I'm not gonna ask multiple dates, but I'm gonna
right?
ask, are you dating?
Okay, then they should be
Because
dating.
I'm weighing my options as well. I'm
Mm-hmm,
weighing my option as well.
mm-hmm.
So
But
that
if you,
second date is gonna be the porterhouse steak. We'll get some coffee on that first date, and your answer is gonna determine if you get that second date. I
but
am the
Nick,
prize.
you're not a
Go
prize, sir.
ahead.
You're not a prize. You're an option. And I'll tell you why.
Go ahead.
Most women in today's society, um, the women pick who they date, who they sleep with. Most
I
women
get it.
are dating below their financial levels. The vast
See, Kobe,
majority,
even though
like
that's
four
bullshit.
four point six
You know,
percent
right,
are
bro?
dating at their financial levels. And here's the
Right.
problem: when women date down, they have to deal with all kinds of nonsense because financial success on a woman means she has more options, but her dating pool gets
I
smaller.
get it. I get it. But my whole point, again, like I said, if I'm out for coffee with you and that's the first date, your answers, your answers to my questions
If you're expecting
need.
exclusivity after 2 dates, sir,
No, I'm not. I'm not expecting that at all.
mm,
But I have options as well. So you're not the only option here. I have options as well. So
you need to stay single for a little while longer. Yeah, yeah. Because if you were on a date, you should expect that person should be dating other people. Let's just be
well, give
honest.
me give me the option to say you're not gonna have this porterhouse date on second date. I don't want a second date. That's it.
She can maybe she doesn't want to have a porterhouse steak with you on the second date. Maybe she can buy her own damn porterhouse steak and doesn't care, right?
Martine's going in, she's going in.
Martine says men sleep with who they can. Yeah, you're right. Slash said,
Some man.
I haven't heard how the world of dating and relationships have changed. It's like filling out the information going to a doctor's appointment. We learn to ask questions knowing we can't drive off. So here's the thing: the world of dating and relationship has changed because women have more freedom, right? 1988, the year
Here
before I
we go.
graduated high school, is when women were able to first get a mortgage on their own without
Here
a
we go.
male co-signer. So now you have a generation of women who have the ability to provide for themselves and who no longer need a man to sign financial documents for them.
And here's the thing. It doesn't even matter to me if she could take care of herself. Not I don't even care about all that bullshit. I really don't. So this whole thing of I am woman, hear me roar. I don't even care about all that stuff. Think about it, you know what I'm saying? Where's your moral compass, man? What's going on with you? What's between the shoulders? I know you got a round ass and a pretty face, but what's between your shoulders?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like we complicate things, man. We really complicate things. We talk about this dating thing. We do.
we do because people want power and control of others. That's why there's so much issues with relationships. Because if you haven't done the work, you're not able to give an equitable, equal relationship.
Right. Martine
Right?
says I can't see what she said. What's she saying?
She said, now, Trent, I don't owe a man a no to whether I'm dating anyone else or not.
Okay, so you say you don't owe the man, you don't owe him a no. You don't. So what's the purpose of the date then, Martine?
You're getting to know
I'm gonna
multiple people.
respectfully, we're gonna agree to disagree. So what's if I can't ask you a question, why am I here?
I don't.
Why am I taking this coffee with you? Why
It's
am I
not.
doing it?
I don't think it's so much the question is that you have the expectation on the second date that they're only going to be dating you.
No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying that at all. So you telling me if I take my time out to take you out on a coffee date, I can't ask you, are you dating anyone else? That's what you're
No,
saying?
you can, and you should expect a yes
I'm
if
not,
they're
it doesn't
dating other
matter
people.
either yay or nay.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm such a gentleman. I won't even say if it affect my decision on ask you for a second date or not. I won't
But
say anything. I'll just ghost you.
but see, that you've already said that you won't ask them for
Stop
porterhouse steak.
dissecting me, please. Go ahead.
No, because listen, people, he needs to be coached on this because there are some issues behind this that he needs to work through, sir.
Knock
You're
it
like,
off.
you know that.
Knock it off.
Oh, you're lucky. You are so lucky. There's only like 5 minutes left. So let's get back to the comments. Uh, Martine said, temperature checking just as guys do. Yeah,
Okay, I
because
got you.
women should be asking the same questions. Here's the thing.
I agree. And here's the thing.
Don't ask the questions.
I'm never offended if a woman asks me, are you seeing anyone else?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give you a solid answer. I'm going to give you a solid, honest answer. Like right now. Matter of fact, I just had a conversation with a real good friend of mine. We were talking whatnot, and she was saying how all these different women commenting on the page, right?
Yeah.
I put up a picture at the gym, all this other stuff, and she knew the number of women that was commenting and everything. She was like about 70 women, different women, and you telling all of them the same thing. Thanks, beautiful. But that's just me, and you know that's just me.
Yeah.
But she don't know that's just me. That's just me. So I was like, well, why are you just looking? Just pass a comment. Oh, you can't just be telling me. You can't tell me the same thing you're telling them. Why not? We're not dating.
Mm-hmm.
If you comment, I'm gonna tell you thanks, beautiful. We're not dating. Everybody's beautiful to me. That's why I'm always saying thanks, beautiful. Everybody's beautiful to me. So, but don't categorize, don't place yourself in that box when I haven't put you there. I haven't placed you in that box.
Yeah. Well, people
so you're gonna get the same treatment everyone else is getting.
People don't have
until we say we're dating. We're exclusive. Get it?
Yeah, people don't have the conversations is a problem. And then people make assumptions because they don't have the conversation.
So does that make me an asshole for telling her I'm gonna answer you just like I answer the rest of them? Does that make me an asshole?
Does it make you an asshole? No.
I'm gonna respond to her just like I respond to the rest of them.
But
beautiful.
But at the same time, here's the thing: people get so caught up in what people say on social media, and it's all dopamine hits. So people get upset if they get likes, if they don't get likes, if somebody comments. Unless you're dating somebody and they're posting pictures of them with somebody else, don't worry about it.
I got a private message. I'm not gonna say who's texting me. Coach D is on that ass.
Listen, man, as long as I've known him, he knows that I'm not gonna play, and I'm not gonna. We talked about this last night that I will not. Back down just because.
Yeah, but we're not gonna talk about that on here. Yeah. We're not gonna do that.
Slash says the lot like a used car without kicking the tires, taking a test drive, and requesting a Carfax. It goes in a different direction. Past relationships, if there's family trauma, sex trauma, mental. Yep. Exactly.
Boom. That's the comment of the night. Let me put that up twice. That's the comment of the night.
Yeah.
I like that.
Slash
That's the comment of the night, folks. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah. And Martine says a guy could have just had sex 2 hours before I date, yet trip if I'm dating or seemingly entertaining another guy.
That's true. I mean, some guys do have the audacity to act that way. I agree with that.
Yeah, more than I think most ladies have run across that in multiple occasions.
Now, hold on a second now. Now, I know some women who've actually gone down that road and then done some scandalous shit.
Oh yeah, it's not one sided. Yeah.
Yeah.
Martin Slash's comment: health, anxiety, etc., which is a long list of why people are good with having a single status, jumping in and out of beds in relationships.
Boom.
But remember, when we talk about jumping in and out of beds in relationships, North America is very prudish at the same time. So let's be very, very honest. There's a lot of background to why the United States is as prudish as it is. So keep that in mind.
Well, speaking of North America, half of the conversation is actually broadcasting over the way. So Coach D is actually going to be over in our homeland. She'll be broadcasting. I'll still be broadcasting here from New Orleans, but we're still going to bring you guys a messy Sunday. I guarantee you.
Yeah. I'll be back home visiting my family and my army buddies. So be a good time. But yeah, it's, relationships don't have to be as messy as they are. Because most of the time, when it does get bad, it's a lack of communication.
That's right.
Right? Communication. Have the hard conversations. Don't make up BS and blame the other person for your nonsense. You know what I mean? Because that's what people who cheat do.
That's right.
They'll cheat and blame because they need to be
we're right on the 8 o'clock hour here, 8 Central, 9 Eastern. So we're going to get to the teachable moment. We really appreciate you guys for always tuning in to the B2G Unity TV network. Conversation with Trent and Friends featuring the lovely Coach Dee. We're going to continue to bring this content, push this content. Coach Dee will continue to go on dates and bring back more content.
Yeah, that's the goal of my dates.
Exactly. Good stuff. So we're going to get to the last comment, then we'll get to the teachable moment.
All right. So slash the last comment. Just paying for someone's week of free meals is worse, in my opinion, than sleeping from couch to couch, which many look at having a rough patch.
Boom.
Someone's week of... Slash.
I know it's too good. I know it was too good for you and Slash to be getting along.
Yeah. It was so well, and then you had to put that first sentence in there. I'm like, you're not going to buy the lottery ticket now.
So what's your teachable moment? What's your teachable moment?
So my teachable moment is heal before you go into a new relationship, so that you can see the red flags, and that you can be single by choice while you look for a relationship. Date yourself.
My teachable moment for tonight is being single is not a death sentence. It's not a death sentence. Hold up on obituary. Don't write it up. You're still alive.
Yep.
Simple as that. My favorite Detroiter says she actually sparked this conversation. Let's give her the last comment.
Yeah. Martine says, I don't have a problem with open and honest conversation, just pry business.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's fair. Fair enough.
Yep. So, you know what? It's and if somebody says you're going to be a crazy cat lady, thank them for threatening you with a good time.
Good stuff.
So, life's just too short, people. If you have ideas for a messy Sunday, send them my way.
Good stuff, man. Well, I'm going to be recording a good one here, actually going straight to the Roku channel. We're going to be talking about sex trafficking, man. Sex trafficking. And it's going to be a good one. Very informative information we're going to be bringing you guys' way. And of course, as always, Coach D's going to come in with the numbers, come in with all the information and research on sex trafficking. It's very important, very imperative that we actually keep light and shed light on this thing, because ladies are in danger. Yeah. There's multiple cities and states that actually very high in sex trafficking. California, Michigan, Ohio, Mississippi. There's a ton of them. There's a ton of them, man. Very high. So we'll have those numbers for you guys, and very imperative that we continue to bring this informative information to you guys. So we really appreciate it. Any closing remarks, Coach D?
Nope, just a warning that Wednesday will be a heavy conversation. We'll talk about roots. We'll talk about ways to protect yourself, and we'll talk about groups that people can reach out to. Because we never know if somebody is in that situation that's listening. So we'll make sure that we have information to help if you do know somebody as well.
As always, we're going to continue to bring this content, and those numbers are actually going. I put a promo up, and I see 1,000 right off the bat. So Coach Dee and I really appreciate it, man, because we work hard on bringing these shows and the production of these shows. So we do behind the scene work. We don't just turn the lights on, turn the ring lights on, the cameras on. Nah, man, we working in the background. We really, really put our heart and soul into these shows. So we appreciate it. We're going to continue to bring this content. So thanks a lot. We'll see you guys on the other side of Sunday. But check out Wednesday as we bring you another topic here on the Informative Wednesday. So good stuff. Talk soon.
All right,
you guys take care.
Everyone.
Conversations with Trent in conjunction with Taylor Kennedy Media and your radio network would like to thank you for calling in and listening to tonight's episode. We hope that tonight's conversation offended you just enough to turn your mirror inward to come back for more. So until next week's conversation, be epic.